Thanks for joining us this week on Sailing on the LaVenture. This week we leave Port Canaveral and sail through the Atlantic up to Little River, South Carolina, LaVenture's home. We have a great sail. We pass through stormy weather. You'll remember last week we had the incredible sunset and surrounded by a storm. This week we're able to thread through them. We arrived in Port Canaveral, had a great dinner at Fish Lips, and celebrated our arrival in Port Canaveral, but now it's time to head to Little River.
It's been a long, hard season. I'm feeling weary to my bones. I guess that's my reason. I packed my bags and now I'm gone. Somewhere between the sun and the deep blue sea. That's where you find me, tender red.
So Mike and I have hoisted Roberto. He is at the mast top again, trying to secure the antenna for the rest of our trip up to South Carolina so that our AIS works with really great distance, because we've got to go through some Charleston and we got to go through Jacksonville. Roberto comes down, antenna is resecured, and we can see plenty of ships on AIS, so we're ready for our trip. Later that morning, we have a fun surprise. SpaceX has a space capsule in the bay, and they are practicing recovery efforts. It's so much fun watching them approach the capsule, jump on the capsule, open the port. Meanwhile, down the dock from us, the U.S. Navy has commissioned a study of vessel bottom paints. So they are studying different materials that probably are much better for our environment, and especially the water, by some college students that are working on their doctorate degree in marine biology. They have secured different paint materials on these stationary barges, and then daily they come and again check the progress. They are looking for growth or the rate of growth on all these different panels of different materials. Next day, sun is out. We decide to go to Coco Beach Pier. Okay, we're still sitting here in Port Canaveral, and we've had these late afternoon, early evening thunderstorms hit all week. And again tonight, we've had a north wind, and it's been blowing steady 20s and then gusting up to 30, even 40. So it's pretty choppy in here. The rain's starting. You can see the clouds over there. And we've had some boats come in and unfortunately get tied up at the gas dock and everybody helping, and because it's just crazy tonight. So all this is supposed to blow through, and we're supposed to have a much better day tomorrow. So we're sure hoping for that. Okay, so you can see we're midday on Saturday here in Port Canaveral, and more storms rolling in midday, more coming tonight. It is just crazy here, as you can see. They just keep coming one after another. The fishermen are all now coming back in because all of this is moving offshore. So we're still waiting till Sunday, maybe at midnight, to leave. We're hoping we can leave at midnight tomorrow. There's a space launch, which hopefully we can bring you some footage of the space launch if they actually do launch the rocket at around 5 or 6 tomorrow on Sunday. So stay tuned. Okay, today is the day, Sunday. We're leaving, Mike and I, at noon. So we have pretty good weather out here, as you'll see. More cruise ships coming in. But we've watched a lot of boats headed out today. I have spent time talking to Marvin with Nomad Citizen, as well as looking at Predict Wind, and we have found a route leaving at noon. We will then be able to sail north and get ahead of the storm fronts coming in the 4 or 5 p.m. to 8 or 9, 10 o'clock p.m. range that have come every night. And this puts us north into some clear water, no storms, a chance to sail through the night and most of the next day without much sun. As we head to Long Key, then storms will develop. They'll be all around us, but it looks like we can stay on the edge and just get a little bit of rain, but stay clear of any thunderstorms. And it puts us in Little River just as the storms begin to really develop there in South Carolina. Mike is busy getting the fenders back into the locker, and the line's coiled. And as you can see in back of us, we are finally leaving Port Canaveral and all these cruise ships and all these great restaurants and great people at Cape Marina. So,
bye-bye, Port Canaveral. We should be seeing a blast from the Jupiter 9 rocket tonight at 6:05.
So we have our friends, Nomad Citizen, following us here. In fact, they're overtaking us. So they've got two 40 horsepower diesels. We have two 20 horsepower diesels. So really nice boat and nice couple, nice family. So, but they're overtaking at the moment. We're all headed towards the Gulf Stream heads to get some help with some speed. There literally is no wind today, so smooth seas except for maybe a 1.5 foot swell that's kind of coming through, but other than that, pretty smooth. And then there's Mike, and Mike's just getting his nap in.
And then there's Mike.
Getting his nap in. So, and then we just have this amazing day. Just an amazing day compared to all the stormy days we've had for 7 days. So it's... So one of the best places on LaVenture, you can ask Craig J, Craig A. Their two favorite spots are right here in the trampoline under sail. It is just so cool to sit here. The cool water runs underneath the waves, and you can watch the bows cutting through the water. and you're in the shade from the jib. So it's just so relaxing, and again, you're out of the sun, so it's just a great place to be.
Six, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You'll see something in a minute.
Okay, so a typical meal on an ocean passage is Mike slices up all of these salamis, thanks Bob, and Swiss and crackers. We have carrots and apples. So we have pretty much healthy stuff, don't you think, Mike?
Pretty healthy.
Yeah. Not a lot of cooking. And Mike already boiled a bunch of eggs, so we have breakfast tomorrow all ready to go. So we try and have a few things prepared. And then we really like doing these tortillas with turkey and ham and Swiss and mustard and mayo and things like that for lunch. So we try and keep it really, really simple. And for some reason, I don't think you're as hungry as you are on land on a passage. Do you think so? Yeah, exactly. You don't think about it as much. So anyway, thanks for joining us. Okay, we have a sunset on its way, our first night, Sunday night out at sea off the coast of Florida, on our way to Georgia and South Carolina the next couple of days. Susan, thunderstorms are beginning to maybe form behind us, so it looks like we have stayed ahead of them, as is our route plan and our weather route plan. So far everyone, we're on track, en route, and ahead of the weather. We're hoping we can keep doing that for 2 days. So that's our plan. It is about 2:30 in the morning on night watch, and we are getting within a few hours of being off Jacksonville, Florida. So we're well on our way to being out of stormy, thunderstormy, lightningy Florida. Good morning. It's Monday morning, and we are in the Gulf Stream, and we're headed about 7 knots with the help of the stream. We have no wind, no wind at all. So we have these little swells coming through that are slightly rocking the boat, and with just switched engines to the port engine, and again with the help of the current and the engine, we're again doing about 7 knots, which is awesome. No lightning this morning anywhere, or thunder. So far so good starting out this second day. Okay, we are getting ready for Monday evening here, and this is when the storms and the rain began. We're going to have 24 hours of it here getting to Little River. So we're preparing and getting the boat ship shape. Mike's going to get some rest. He's got the 10 to 2 shift and I've got the 2 to 6. So I'm up here at the helm. Just want to show you kind of what we're looking at in the skies ahead of us. Okay, I got the first line of squalls for this evening. About 8 o'clock, so I thought I'd give you an idea of what we're about ready to hit. Looks just like a lot of rain, probably for 15 minutes or so, and then we'll be through. We are literally surrounded at this point, as you can see. A little bit of light over there, but for the most part, we are surrounded by rain. Okay, all you sailors out there, as you know, for a passage, one of the most important things in regards to navigation is weather. Because weather determines our route, our course, modifications along the way to it. But even if you do all your due diligence, there are times when you make a passage, you have mostly beautiful weather, it works out great, but at some point on that passage, you're going to have to pass some rain. And in this case, we know we don't have a thunder shower or lightning, we just have heavy rain. So we're prepared, the boat's prepared, and once we're through all this rain, we're going to be home soon in Little River, South Carolina.
So it's midnight on Monday night. We're still headed toward Little River. We've got 114 miles to go. Our compass and our plot charter tells us that. Otherwise, we'd never know. It's dark overhead. We saw stars out earlier, but now they're covered up, I assume, with clouds. It's just black. It's black ahead. It's black behind us. Off to the port side, earlier we could see the lights of Charleston reflecting up in the sky. But as Charleston closes down for the night, we're about 50 miles away, and those are hardly visible anymore. Off to the starboard side, we know we're inside the Gulf because we see occasional big lightning flashes over there. Otherwise, it's just black over there. The wind has come around from the north-northeast, and we got out of the Gulf Stream after sitting in it all the way up from Florida through Georgia. When we got to the Carolinas, we got out of the Gulf Stream, and we're really glad we did because we didn't want to be there when the wind started coming out of the north. The wind against the current would pile up some big waves. So that was a good call on Randy's part. We got us inside the Gulf Stream, but it's black in every direction. If we were flying, we wouldn't know if we were 10 feet above the water or 1,000 feet above the water, because it's just black in every direction.
Instead of home, in the light of this moon, my mind keeps saying.
Hello everyone, it is about almost 3 in the morning here off Charleston. We have threaded our way through all the storms. We haven't had a drop on us. It's unbelievable. Again, second year in a row. Bill, you did it with us last year with Mike and I, and thanks to Susan for such great information, and Mike and I planned a pretty good route with the help of Predict Wind, and we had a recommendation for the European model to kind of get out of the stream at a certain time and follow our old route that we've done the last couple of years. And that took us right out of the stream as the wind went to northeast and churned up a bunch of storms. So our timing was just incredible.
How to unfold when this night is so tight.
Crazy night. We are on our way to Little River. We have weather news, so we know we have squalls coming tonight, so we're going to try and make the Little River inlet by 8 or 9 o'clock and be at the dock in our slip by 10 p.m. tonight, safely tucked away and docked. So that's the plan. We have weather all around us, so we're just going to keep our speed up. Right now there's not a lot of wind, so in fact there's no wind, so we've had to fire up both engines, and we're making about 6.2, and we need to just average 5.6, 5.8 today to make the inlet again by 8 or 9 o'clock. So
sail on off the radar and venture away from me. Trouble.
The last few minutes the wind has picked up from 2 miles an hour to about 14 miles an hour. The wind is coming from the west. So you see this storm to the east of us that seems to be moving toward us. I don't know if the wind is from the storm pulling the air into it or not. It looks pretty ominous. Right now it appears like the storm is getting closer to us. We're trying to outrun it a little bit. We'll see what happens with it. Okay, so it looks like we're losing the race to our thunderhead over there. If you look at the leading edge of that to the left, it looks like there's some little water spouts that there's like 2 or 3 little water spouts that keep circling around each other as that moves forward. It doesn't seem to be getting any closer right now, but it's getting ahead of us. This is a little better view of the water spouts that are on the front edge of that storm as it moves to the north. Now see, they kind of develop and then they stop and then they redevelop again.
okay, we're just about 5 hours away from the inlet, so maybe 6 hours away from S27, LaVenture's home. So anyway, we're just relaxing and enjoying this beautiful day. We thought it would be a stormy day all day, and it looked that way this morning, but I gotta tell you, it just looks great ahead of us. So we're excited. This has been an interesting trip like last year, Phil, and dodging all the storms and having a route through everything, and so far it has worked out really well. So well, last night we arrived Little River, Lightkeepers Marina in Coquina Harbor, and about 9 o'clock, a little after, we did a night arrival. Mike navigated and I steered, and we not only found the inlet, but went down the intercoastal, stayed out of trouble. We had a flooding tide actually, so we're going 7.2 knots down the intercoastal because of the flooding tide. We slowed down, made the turn in with the lighthouse into Coquina Harbor and then the Lightkeepers, and John and Beth were here, Cindy was here, some of our neighbors here on the dock were here to welcome us and help us tie our lines up. It went really fast, and it was so great to see everybody. And we had a route that took us through in between so many storms that we avoided. We had the waves from them, and we had the light shows with the lightning, but we didn't have anything overhead. It was just incredible. We planned a route and it went really, really well, amazingly well. And so we got here actually at the earliest possible time, or ETA, that I had calculated, mainly using the European model. So it was awesome. We got here, we got at the inlet at a few minutes after 8. It was amazing. So we could be here Tuesday night instead of slowing down and waiting until Wednesday morning to come in. So it was awesome, and awesome welcome. Mike was great. The two of us had to do 4-hour night watches and that type of thing because there were 2 of us, and Roberto on the first leg was awesome. Big help. He went up the mast twice to work on the antenna so our AIS would work properly, and can't thank him enough. He was just great. And Susan for getting us weather updates via satellite. That was great and welcomed, and we really had great weather information, and so we were able to really stay safe on a passage that very few boats could make or wanted to make, but we needed to because we knew we had a tropical storm coming next week, and so we just worked at it for hours and finally found a way here, and it worked. So it was great. And so thanks everyone for following these episodes. We had a great summer trip. Appreciate Tammy and Bob and Aaron, and our granddaughter Reese was great. She learned to anchor with Lisa. Lisa taught her a lot this trip, and so it was great. So the island portion, I hope you enjoyed. We just had a great time, even with a little bit of rain. It just was awesome, and we really got together with Cole and Emily of the Adventure Cruise, and if you haven't checked out their YouTube channel, The Adventure Cruise, you got to do it. Thank you for watching us, but make sure and check out theirs for even more video of the cool places that we got to visit. So thank you for joining us, and we've got some more how to sail videos coming, and again we'll have a fall sail down to the islands again, so certainly join us this fall as we cruise to the Bahamas and have more adventures aboard LaVenture.
Thanks for watching our summer adventure aboard LaVenture, and all our crew, Lisa, Bob, Tammy, Aaron, Reese, Mike, and Roberto. We just had a great crew and went through all kinds of adventures and weather on this trip. Thanks, Susan, for all your weather updates. It was awesome, and it kept us safe. And thanks to our new YouTuber friends, Nomad Citizen and the Adventure Cruise. Make sure you check their YouTube channels out. We had so much fun with them, and they have such great video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. We've got more adventures coming this fall.
On my skin.